Anyway. But some map makers put fishes in lakes like that. Not sure if this map has fishes in the lakes. Yeah, that's... If I decide to pull in a lime station and start picking up the stones and rocks, I'm probably going to need to use one of my tankers to transport water over to it. And obviously there's also the question on how much lime can I store on this farm? You can get, I don't know, yeah, all productions have a this tractor is not happy. Doesn't like cruise control. Okay, where's production? All of the production have an incoming material capacity and an outgoing material capacity. If we look at the biogas plant, I was almost up to 100% on manure. I've never been 100% on slurry. And then, but, yeah, it's like 150,000 litres. We're halfway, and cows, they still don't have enough for a full cart. I have one cartload there. Now, occasionally I'll get up to quite a lot of cartloads. So with the lime, I don't know what the capacity for rocks is, but that doesn't matter. I would, if I did start doing that, I would not be gathering rocks. No, I have to gather all the rocks. I would, I'd pick a field and just do that field or a part of that field. And then it's the output capacity, because we only put lime on fields once we've harvested. So if you fill up the output capacity, you can't create any more until you start using it. I risk the same with the BGA on digestate stores. Am I going to create too much before I start using it? Frankly, I don't think I will. Okay, is this actually going to cut all the way across? This is the last row before the headland here. Hopefully that's close enough. I think I can drive straight across to the other block and run rows northbound. Gonna be good. Sadly, oh, there we go. He's going. Okay. Contracts. We still have negligible contracts here. So slurry, we're out. So I could turn that off. So I don't have enough. This is just going to keep running. We've got room for 6 million litres of digestate. I don't think we're going to get that far. But, you know, it's good to know. I have been on maps where the input production for stuff at the BGA is consumed in about 12 to 16 hours, which means you have to refill it that frequently to constantly keep it in production. I've also been on maps where the output is so little that I have to empty it every 16 hours, which is a little bit of a problem because you don't use what it produces but one time in the year, at which point I want lots of stuff, and if it can't hold lots of stuff, it's kind of not really usable. Or not really efficiently usable. And then I've had other maps where I can load up, let's say, all of the input storage on a bakery, turn on the production, and that amount of flour is going to last me 3 years. So that's kind of a problem, because if it's going to take me 3 years to use up all the flour, what do I do with the flour I make next year or the year after? Because, well, the bakery's not going to use it or take it. So now I'm just going to have to sell the flour at a sell point and not make quite as much as I could have done had I been able to convert it into bread and then sell the bread. I don't like productions that you need to empty too frequently, and I definitely don't like productions where you have to fill them every day just to keep them at full capacity and 100% working. I just deactivated the BGA's slurry production because there's no slurry in the BGA, and I think it costs me the same amount of money whether it's actually running production or trying to run production but there's nothing there to work. So you really do need, if you want your production to be efficient, you need resource to feed it. My cows don't pee fast enough. I could have had pigs to the farm. Never tried, well, I haven't really done anything with pigs since Farm Sim 17. And that was, I've done all the achievements except breed 50 pigs. So I'm going to open up a big pig stable. Whatever you put pigs in. I built one of those, I bought 10 pigs, I fed them until they created 50 more pigs. So, yeah, that's a thing you can do too. Some productions will take lots of different things to produce one output, where others will just take one thing, potentially produce multiple outputs, depending on what you want to make. As I said, I don't really have a production goal on this map. I'm kind of happy being an arable farmer for now, with some cows and horses and sheep, because, well, the farm came with them. Although the farm did come with chickens, and I've sold them and removed the chicken coop because chickens were just too much hard work, keeping them fed and moving the eggs. Too much excess work to do for them, so yeah. Could plant some bees, I guess. Bees can cost quite a lot to set up with all the hives you might want, but they really don't produce much or a significant amount of honey. So it's not like you're not going to become a millionaire with bees on the farm. But it's a good, constant, steady. It's kind of like the goat milk and the sheep wool. It's not a big thing, but I think the sheep wool, I sold 10,000 litres, probably made about $12,000 in wool income. So it's, it's not a bad thing, but it'll take 3 more months to fill up the storage before I sell it again. But it's money coming into the farm, and that can be helpful, especially now. Like I said, we spent about 1.2 million buying land, and that actually left us with about 27,000 in the bank. But running a milk tanker down to the dairy does make about $30,000, so we made a bit there. And then, we've got methane production at the BGA. I can transport 8,000 litres of that. It's worth about 6,000 sold. And I can do that quite frequently, I do believe. Didn't look at that. So we're 1.5 tanker loads there. I usually wait till I've got 2 and then run down twice. But there's nothing to stop me saying, another 6,000 in the bank would be nice, let's go do that. But it would involve putting this on a worker, which would cost me $400 an hour. A little 6R250 is still working fine. It's half a tank of diesel left. This is almost half a tank of diesel left. Go in and I'll lift that now. So long as your planter clears the end of the GPS line, or he's on the ground before the start of the GPS line, so around about there, I shouldn't end up with any missed parts. Okay, well, have fun with that. I know a few people who are out visiting parents. Or parents or kids, either way. One of Mrs. Osa's friends flew down to Texas last week to visit her kids and grandkids. So, it's a good time to do it. My personal opinion, it's not really that great a time to do it because you're playing with weather. And when you have a job that pays, to buy food and stuff, it's not good to run out and then get trapped somewhere and not be able to do your job for a week. But anyway, have fun with that and see you next week, probably. Ooh, that was a really good point to disengage. Spin round. There we go. And, laid that on the ground a little early. I mean, the nice thing is with precision farming is it's not going to put seed where there is already seed. Might change the texture, but it's not going to put extra seed. We've already used 18% on these 2 fields. We do still have a little ways to go on this one. But we're going to end up either in that corner or that corner, which is going to be convenient for doing the next field either way. Not going to be too far to drive. What you don't want to do is end up in that corner over there and then you've got all the way around the field to get to somewhere you can transition. That's pretty much good. Oh, I don't know if you're going to make that turn. Oh, yes, you are. Fortunately, I turned way too much there. Okay, come back round there. Fortunately, as we turn, is adjusting the ends of the planter, so that actually looks like we made that turn. Okay, so how are we doing? 1 hour and coming up on the second of the second hour streaming. Come on, go tractor. 10:30. So we'll get a lot of this. It's already afternoon game time. So I might not end up, well, I was going to say I might not end up with all of the cotton fields planted, but I've only got 4 more and they're really not very big. So if I do end up there, I think it's probably a good target to have all of the cotton fields planted. Then we have to wait till March before the weeds grow. We can deal with the weeds, we can deal with the crop spraying. Two, three, four. I think there's 4 fields here and there. So we're going to plant 2 fields with soybeans, 2 fields with corn. And then that will be planting for they will be almost on the wheat harvest time. Okay. Oh, we missed a sliver there. That's not going to get caught by the headland cover. And yeah, that tree is going to be a problem. Okay. Oh, that is totally wrong. Excuse me, I want to cover the cedar. There we go. That's bad. Oh, that's a mess. Okay, a little bit of manual adjustment here. Much better. Okay, GPS is on, headers down. Yeah, gonna have to have 2 cleanup points there. So, looking to have 1, 2, probably 3 rows left and then the headlands. Or headland. We've definitely got enough to seed to do what we need. And I think we've got enough diesel to do what we need. We do not have enough Mountain Dew to do what I need. Excuse me. Okay, that's all done. That's all done. Lift the head up. Okay, let's get to the rest of it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 more rows. Pass the row. Get to there, do that, lower that, and off we go. And Mrs. Osa has gotten up. And she has... are you really not going to play? Yes. And then phone starts beeping. Okay. So we got an update on the kid's mum. She's in hospital on oxygen. But there is a chance she may be coming home tomorrow or the day after. The boy said he wants to stay here for 4 days, and he doesn't have to go to school until, I can't remember if it was Wednesday or Thursday, because they're switching to a new school building and it's not quite ready. And the teachers probably need a guided tour of the place before they start running it. But their mum's partner is bringing the boy over about 1 o'clock, 1:30. So Mrs. Osa doesn't have to go and get him. However, we'll do a clockwise loop for the Highland. She still has to go shopping.